So this is part two of my abstract painting of Durdle Door in Dorset. Love saying that. And yesterday I uploaded part one, and that was all about sketching out the idea and getting the shapes and the colours, laying down textures and tones, and painting in an expressive way. I paint intuitively, so I don't necessarily have a plan when I start. All I knew is that I was going to paint Durdle Door because I'm moving there in a week or so. I should be there now, but the estate agent has lost our deeds to the house, so they're having to find those, which has delayed us a bit. So I thought, while I'm waiting, let's do a painting. So I'm going to be living just over that hill, and it takes about an hour and a half of hill walking to get up there. And then there you are, this view, and it's the Jurassic Coast. So when I painted it, the horizon line is flat, but the camera is tilted because the tripod's on the left-hand side and I'm on the right. So it's tilted it so it looks slightly off. But that's okay anyway, because I want it to look distorted. I want to play a bit with the perspective. So it looks as though the beach is lifting up at the back. It looks as though Durdle Door itself is floating in space. And I don't mind about that at all. So what I want to do today is get fluidity. I want to bring everything together with some fluid strokes of the brush and tie it all together. So the land and the sea and the sky, I want to bring it all together with fluid strokes. So I'm also going to be adding patterning. So it's going to be less and less realistic and more abstract as I carry on. So I'm going to focus on the movement. So the movement of the clouds in the sky, I'm going to try and capture that. The movement of the waves on the sea and the movement of the blowing of the flowers. So I'm not going to paint flowers. I'm going to give the impression of flowers and or patterning by adding splotches of different colours, and they're going to be mostly warm colours at the front on the right and down at the bottom where the headland is. And there are flowers up there. There are some flowers, but I'm going to make it seem as though it could be flowers. It could be something cosmic. Who knows? It's open to interpretation by the viewer. And I'm also putting some more muted patterns following the hills in the background to help with the flow of the lines of the hill. So I'm also putting abstracted sunshine on the water, which isn't what the sun would look like in reality at all. But I just want to lead the eye around the painting and create a sort of mood, that warmth that you get from looking at a sunset in a beautiful place. And it's almost like the beach is hugging Durdle Door. I want it to seem like a warm experience, a warm summer's night, far from what we are at the moment. So I'm going to focus on patterning on warm colours at the front, and there's also the hot colours of the sun, which leads the eye up there and then back again. So in the summer, I'm hoping to sit there and paint this view a lot because it's there. I mean, why would I paint a different view if I've got this one in front of me? All along the Jurassic Coast, you can see fossils of dinosaurs. You can get trilobites and ammonites, all sorts of different things you can pick up. I pick up sea glass and melt it into my pottery. Now, my potter's wheel is in Dorset at the moment, 200 miles away, so I'm doing a lot of painting. Normally I'd be making pottery, but I can't at the moment, so I've got my paints out, and it's just whatever paints there are. I'm smearing my sleeve against that red paint at the moment there, and didn't realise until afterwards. So I've swum through that arch. It's actually a lot higher than it looks. When you look down onto the beach, you're standing very high up. And the arch, sometimes people jump off it in the summer on the hot days, and you can injure yourself quite badly. It's very, very high. So if there was someone swimming underneath it, there'd be a little tiny dot. And it's one of the best walks in England as well. So I'm trying to create a mood. This is trying to create a warm hug of a vibrant mood and maybe a little bit cosmic. I want to get the patterning there. I want it to be elevated above just an ordinary Durdle door. I have one on the wall at the house that is a more realistic interpretation of Durdle door, but I'm not looking for realism. I'm looking for something wowy, something that stands out from the others because so many people have painted it. So I want it to look different and unusual. And I want it to create that feeling of warm serenity that I feel when I'm looking at it. In the summer, I plan to walk down there. You can get there, if you walk, it's an hour and a half up the road and steep hill. If you cycle, it's about 3 miles away, and Lulworth Cove is another 1.5 miles up the road. And if you drive, you have to pay £10 parking fee. So I'm going to try and cycle or walk there as much as possible in the summer and try and carry my paints with me. It's going to be difficult. So I'll have to use watercolours or acrylic paint. I can't use oils because they don't dry. So I'll be sitting there on the side of the hill probably several times over the summer, taking my paintings up. So if you're going down there, say hello. I might be sitting there in this position, looking down at the door, or maybe swimming through it. So this is going into the exhibition in Purbeck Arts Week, and this is in the Isle of Purbeck. Yes, this area of Dorset is called the Isle of Purbeck, and it spreads all the way over to Corfe Castle. And there's going to be an exhibition of artwork, and I'm doing this one for that. It won't be finished by the end of this. I'll dig it out a few more times before the end, before the exhibition, and fiddle with it and alter it until I feel that it's just right. At the moment, I like the feeling I get from it. I think it's got the warm hug, and I think it's got the fluidity of movement, which is exactly what I was looking for. And I want to capture that to put on the wall of the inside of the house for those wet days when we can't go out and see it. So here's my painting of Durdle Door. Not finished, not framed yet, but this is it so far. Hope you like it.